Hi guys, it's your girl Casey English aka CC Love, and I am here today with another beautiful video for you gems. Today we are going to be doing a segment of a good watch, and the lucky show that's going to be highlighted today is called Living Single. I absolutely love this show. Now this is the first time that I've actually sat down and binged this show like to its entirety. Like before, I've literally just seen a couple of episodes here and there and I always thought it was funny, and I was just always like, oh my gosh, I have to sit down and actually watch this. Finally found the time to sit down and watch this show, and it is so freaking hilarious, so freaking good. So I had to do a little segment of a good watch for you guys. If you haven't seen the show, this is definitely a thumbs up for me telling you to go get some time, grab some popcorn, grab some wine, whatever your your binge routine is, then do that and sit down and watch and enjoy the show and laugh your belly off, cry sometimes, be mad sometimes, but it's gonna take you on a roller coaster of emotions, but it's definitely a good watch approved. Okay, so let's get into the characters. So there are like, I want to say 6 main characters, and they are Khadijah, Kyle, Overton, St. Clair, Maxine, and Regine. There was another character, a male character that was added on in the 6th season of the show, but he didn't really stick out to me that much. So like, I'm kind of like just sticking to the main focal characters in the like the main 5 seasons. So Khadijah is the CEO of Flavor. That is her occupation. And Kyle is a stockbroker in the show. Overton is a handyman. And Maxine, attorney at law. She is an attorney turned politician in the show. And St. Clair is the assistant to Khadijah at Flavor, which is the name of the magazine that she runs. Then Regine is a fashion retail buyer turned a costume designer for a soap opera. And yeah, so that's the name of the characters and that's their occupations. But basically this show is just about these 6 characters living together. I think the setting of this show is in Chicago. So they live together in a brownstone in Chicago. 3 of the girls share an apartment together. It's Khadijah, St. Clair, and Regine share an apartment together, while Maxine has an apartment of her own, but she is literally always at their apartment eating their food and just chopping it up with the girls. Like, she might as well pay rent at their apartment. That's how often she stays there, right? And then Overton and Kyle live together in an apartment upstairs. So basically it's just these characters living together in a brownstone. They're all single, just in their late 20s, I want to say early 30s. And they're just, and one thing I love about this show, I just want to just pinpoint and just like stop right here. I just love that they're all beautiful black characters, well-rounded, complex characters who have amazing jobs and like just represent blackness very well. They're all like doing well for themselves financially and all ambitious characters who want more for themselves, who are very aware of the world around them as characters, even though it's a fictional character. Like, they're very aware of the world as characters. The directors and the showrunners definitely made the characters complex and added in some of real life, you know, into the show. And so I just love that about the particular characters. But yes, so let's get into the many relationships that evolved and happened over the show. So Khadijah, she had a couple of relationships, and she's a girl. She got some trips with her. She got some lines, she got some riz, she got some style. But she's a little bit of a tomboy. But she definitely keeps it professional at work. She definitely like dresses as the CEO when she's at Flavor. Like her fits in the show gave me life. Like for a 90s show, like they were giving it with the outfits. The fashion was it for me. Like for some of them, for their characters, like for example, Kyle's character, like he was very into like this African type of aesthetic, and they definitely like brought that to life in the show. Like you could tell with his fashion sense, even in his decor in his apartment, the choices that he chose for his bedding, the choices that he chose for his suits, like he definitely brought in some African into all of his fashion choices, all of his decor choices, and even in the way that he spoke about himself and the world around him. You could definitely tell that he was somebody who was very aware of his blackness and wanted to just uplift the black race and to embrace and showcase the black race. So yeah, with the fashions, back to Khadijah and the fashions, right? Her suits gave me life on the show. Like she had some of the best pantsuits, and sometimes when she wore the skirt suits, I was like, yes, girl, yes, show them legs with the little pencil skirts and I loved it. One in particular, when she wore the red suit, I absolutely loved and adore that red suit so much. But yeah, and St. Clair, she was like, her fashion sense, she was the secretary or like the assistant to Khadijah. Her fashion sense in the show, it's not particularly my fashion sense, but I liked it for her character. She was very like, her character was very like woo. I don't even know how to describe it, but she was like, I would describe her as a flower girl, like a sunflower girl. Like that's the best way I could describe her aesthetic. Like it was very much flowery, flowy dresses, very much like loose fitting clothing, but like always feminine, always sensual, but like still it was just always a flowery dress that stood out to me with her. And then like sometimes some overalls and something like that, but it never was it was never something that like I personally would wear, okay? But yeah, that's St. Clair's fashion sense. Regine, now when it comes to fashion, like that's my girly. Like that's my girl who I would definitely, I'd be like, yes, I would wear that. Even though that's from the 90s, I would totally wear that today. Like, yes, girl, you were rocking that fit. Like, she was into all of the fashions, and like, duh, she very well may be, because she's a retail buyer. Like, she's a fashion buyer for stores, and she turned into a costume designer for shows. Like, she has to know, she has to be on the up and up when it comes to the fashions. And so she was giving us life on that show when it came to the fits, okay? Yes, Maxine, another girly with the pantsuits and the suits, the fit. Oh, honestly, it sticks out in my mind like right now. Like I could see it right now. Like she had this lavender suit that she wore, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. But like there were so many other suits that she wore that I just completely loved. And I also saw like her fashion sense out of the office. Like when she was by herself, she was also very like feminine, but her fashion sense was also very strong and like confident. But like she also loved to like show off her figure and like the skin tights and like the little crop tops and the pants. Like she was very much that girl when it came to her particular fashion sense, and I absolutely loved it because she has and had an amazing figure in that show, and I just loved that she accentuated that with the fits, okay? But Obi was giving very much handyman fits. Like Obi in the honestly, in the first couple of episodes, like even all throughout the first season, I was like, is Obi gonna wear anything other than an overall? Like, can I see you in something else? Are you a person outside of like just having your overalls and your tool belt around you? Like, and finally, like I feel like around the ending of season 2 to the ending, like throughout the ending of the show, like Obi showed us his fashion sense. He very much is like that guy who's like a sportsy type of fashion type dude, and he's like a very chill and laid back fashion dresser, but he always puts himself together nicely when he does try. So I like that for Obi. But I was just like, I just needed him to get out of them overalls for a little bit, and I'm glad they did that for us. Okay. I think I got into all the characters and their fashion styles. So yes, that being said, let's move on to the love lives of these characters, right? So Khadijah was single for a while. She was dating a lot of people. Well, I don't want to say a lot of people, but she was like single. So she's out here going on a couple of dates here and there. Some of them are just like, oh my God, is it really like the water had pee in it even in the 90s? Like, it was like that. I was like, what? The dating pool got pee in it even in the 90s? Like, no. Because some of the stuff like they were going through in their dating life, I was like, but eventually, and I don't remember when Scooter came in. I think it was around season 2, probably around the end of season 2 or midway in season 2, when Scooter came into her life, and then they started dating. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting character. I thought she was gonna go with someone else because she was dating someone else seriously before Scooter, and I was like, oh my gosh, this has to, because he was fine. Like, I wanted it to be him so bad. His name escapes me. Thank God I just remembered Scooter, because that's no spoilers. Anyways, but just to let you know, you were gonna root for the guy who she was dating before Scooter, because he was like a really chill guy. However, Scooter ultimately, like, I like him as well. I like their relationship. I like that they're both strong-minded. They're both ambitious, and they both know what they want out of life. And that's like where the conflict in their relationship comes in, because like Khadijah's a CEO at Flavor. Like, yeah, I'm trying to make this relationship work, but I gotta keep this business running, and I gotta do what I gotta do to like progress and blah blah blah. And Scooter's also that guy who's like very much trying to get himself established career-wise. He's trying to like, he definitely is invested in the relationship, but he's definitely made it clear that his career means a lot to him as well. And so that's where a little bit of the conflict comes in, and that's where a little bit of the drama comes in with them. But their relationship is also like very, very cute, and you're gonna root for them as well. So yeah, it's Khadijah and Scooter for me, okay? But then Kyle, this is my favorite, like, oh. You guys, absolutely my favorite relationship in the show, because the way they start off is freaking crazy. Cuckoo. Like, you would just never think that they should be together, because it's giving hatred from jump. Like, you stay on your side, I stay on my side, like West Side. It's giving the red and the blue. It's giving the Bloods and the Crips with these two. Like, it's on site with them, honestly. Like, so I was just like, y'all two, the two of y'all, like, do you, like, Maxine and Kyle, that's what the director said to, that's what the writer said to do? Y'all sure? Because I was just like, but also I loved it at the same time, because the two of them together had the best although it was toxic, they had the best lines. Like, honestly, their lines alone, if we compile together the entire show, I want to say, like, their lines alone, like, made me love this, like, it contributed to, like, I want to say 35 to 45% of me liking and enjoying the show. Because the toxicity and the hatred, but like it's still love deep down, deep. Like you gotta go deep down to find the love for them. So it's like when they started dating and when they had their little fling, spoiler alert, they had a little fling in the show, and I want to say it was around season 3 or probably season 2. No, I want to say season 3. I hope I'm not wrong, but it happened. They had a little fling, right? And then they decided to like try it out for a little bit, and they were like, oh no, that was, I don't know what we were thinking. I don't know if we were drunk that night or blah blah blah, but we should never do that again. And yeah, so they tried dating other people, they tried going back to their single lives, and that's how that's how it goes with them for a little bit. So they like had a little fling. They kept the one-liners and the toxicity going back and forth even after their fling ended, and I just loved that. It just felt like they were brewing, like it felt like a little volcano waiting to erupt with them, like for them to get back into a steamy, hot, sexy little relationship. That's just literally what it was like for me. But yeah, their relationship is very fun to watch, but I don't think it would be fun to be in. But yeah, so moving on to Obi and Sinclair. So they are the ones who like, oh, they definitely need to be together. Like, they're the ones who are giving soulmates from jump, honestly. Like, that's just basically what it was written to be in the show and in the stars. Like, they're like, okay, and it's like, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they get married. I wouldn't be surprised if they have the kids and do all of that. Like, let them have that. Right? So, they are the cutest couple ever, because they're just so like, their relationship is so flirty and light, and they're like very supportive of each other, and they're just like a cutesy little couple. Like I just love I love their little jokes and their little like yeah, they have the cutest little jokes for each other, the cutest little lines. It's just very cute to watch with the two of them. And so I just really wasn't surprised that they got married and ended up together. Now with Regine is like, I feel like she is who Drake rapped about when he was like, oh, she the female version of me. Because Regine had the dates coming, okay? Like, Regine had a little roster. She was that girl with the roster. You know that song, I got a little white boy in my roster? Regine had all the men on her roster, okay? If you asked her about all the races of men on the world, Regine could tell you, I've dated a rich and famous version of that guy. Or just rich and wealthy version of that guy. Okay, she was the girl to tell you about the men's. She was the girl to just give you the rundown on what to and what not to do when it comes to the men's and how to catch and keep a wealthy man. Regine has the one-on-one for you, okay? So with Regine, she was like a little bachelorette, like on the entire show. But she was like a bachelorette with the fashions. Let's just be very clear. A bachelorette with the fashions. And she was also like very supportive of her friends and their dating life. And that's the thing with all of them. They were very, very supportive of each other. Even though they ripped on each other all freaking day. Like, they had that type of friendship where they joked around with each other like all the time. But they were very supportive and very understanding and very caring of each other, and sensitive of each other's feelings when it comes to their wants and desires in relationships, and being there to just hear each other out when it comes to like breakups, or when it comes to breakups, or just like wanting somebody to vent to. Like, they were that for each other, and I liked that about the show. It was just beautiful to see like the girlies supporting each other in that way. And even Kyle and Obi, like, they were definitely the bros who chopped it up and discussed their wants and desires in women, and just like supported each other in their dating ventures. So yeah, I love that for them. But Rasheen, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say she's giving the 101 on how to catch a rich and wealthy man for a reason. Okay, so by the end of the season, you're gonna see why she's the one to be the instructor and teach you girlies how to catch and keep a wealthy man. Okay, make sure y'all are taking notes, because she is gonna give the tea. All right. So that's all I'm gonna say without spoiling the show. But I just want to say the ending of this show is very like, although it was like a minor cliffhanger, it was like a teensy bit of a cliffhanger. So like, if they come back with like a movie or a renewal of the show, it'll be a continuation. But the way that it ended was very much a happy ending for me. Like, the characters ended in a way where you as a viewer, who, if you were rooting for the relationships that like all the way along, then you're going to be very satisfied with the way that things end for the characters. And that's all I'm going to say about Living Single. All I got to say is a good watch, approved, and get your butts on that couch, on your bed, wherever it is you binge watch, and start that show so we can chop it up about it. Okay, let me know what you think about it if you've already watched the show in its entirety, and if you're gonna start watching it, let me know when you finish so we can start talking. Okay, all right, this has been all for me, Casey English, aka CC Love. I will see you guys in another video. Have fun and be safe out there on the interwebs. Bye bye, beautiful people.